No breath, no heartbeat, just static remains. Hollow reflections, ghosts in the cold. So come burn down my escape. I wanna feel it, come drag me into the void.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Trackside Broadcasting. Welcome back to season 12. Thank you for joining us again this evening. You should know me by now, but if not, for anyone who doesn't, I'm Gaz, and I'm going to be one of your commentators this evening. Tonight, we continue on our all-European season. We have done Spa, we have been to Monza, we flew over to Zandvoort, but now we are back in Italy, race 4 of 8, to bring us some more GT3 racing action. Again, round 4 coming back to you from Italy, but this time we are racing Imola, another great Italian track, so we should be in for a treat. As always, though, before we get started here at Trackside, I just want to thank the Tanzo Racing Group, letting us bring you all of the action each and every single week this season, and to our sponsors, Spectra Racing, Clark St. James Motorsport, and Murby Goes, helping us bring all of this together for you. But with that said, it's been 7 whole days and I need some more racing in my life. I don't know about you guys at home. So let's bring in the man who's going to be sat next to me like he is each and every single week. A man who has beaten me on this track probably more times than I've had actually hot dinners, because this is a favourite of ours to race on when we go head to head, by the way. So let me get him in there. Mr. Jimmy Marshall, hi, hello, good evening. Buonasera, mio amico. How are you doing this evening, my mate?
I am doing absolutely fantastically. How are you doing?
Jimmy, I'm very good. Like I said, it's been 7 days, my mate. We are back in the GT3s. We are on a fantastic track like Imola, though. Me and you have raced it many, many times before in all different kinds of cars, mate. But what are your thoughts and feelings on Imola tonight for these GT3s then?
Oh, I absolutely love Imola. It's a proper racer's track, I always feel like. It's technical, it's fast, it's flowy, it's fun. It's great for battling. And you can see just there just how wide a lot of the track actually is. And you can get some good battling going on basically the entire way around. And it's also a little bit dangerous. I mean, look at those curves there. You can see it flipping that Porsche into the air as it goes round. And yeah, there's a lot of sketchy corners and sketchy curving. I just love it. It's just so much fun.
Basically, Jimmy, what you're trying to tell me is we're on for a really fun, exciting race tonight, hopefully, then.
I absolutely hope so because yeah, it is. It's such a good track, and I feel like
All
it
right.
always produces great racing.
All right. Well, let's see what the next just over hour and a bit have got in store for us. Jimmy, shall we have a little look? No, sorry, just before we go down to track and have a little look, do you want to remind everybody just how it works here in the Tanzo Racing Group before we jump down to qualifying?
Yep, absolutely. So this is a 8-round season across a series of European racetrack. And the weekend for them, or the evening for them, will go essentially. They'll start with a 15-minute closed qualifying session. So that's what they are on now. We're currently coming up to about 6 minutes into the qualifying session. Then we go to a brief 5-minute warm up. Sorry, just to mention, closed qualifying, so they are on their own and they don't have to worry about anyone else on track, so they can set the best lap times possible to get the best spot on the grid possible. Then we're on to a brief 5-minute warm up, and then we're down to the 60-minute race. And with that race, we have open setups for the drivers so they can tune their cars exactly as they like them so they can get the best out of them possible. And they have a maximum of 60% fuel on board, which means that there will be a pit stop during the race. So it adds a nice little bit of strategy for the drivers. Makes it a bit more of an interesting watch for us as well.
Well, there you go. There you go. That's all the rules and the regs for everybody at home, just in case anybody is new to join us, or just in case you've forgotten. But Jimmy, we've just over 6.5 minutes of qualifying gone. Shall we jump down to trackside and have a little look at how everybody's getting on tonight?
Absolutely. Let's take a look at those times and see how they get on.
Well, there you go, straight away. A name we're quite used to seeing at the top there, Jimmy. Michael Gray leading the way in the elites, Otto Karras for the pros, and Joseph Greathouse in the AMs there. We're seeing those names repeating at the top of the leaderboards there again this week.
Yeah, very familiar faces up at the top there, but yeah, they are quick drivers. Not to say that
No,
the rest of them aren't, but they are
no,
a little extra quick.
it's one of those, Jimmy. You do get used to seeing some of the names at the top of the leaderboards week after week, but anything can happen in that hour of racing, can't it, mate? So you can't call anything. But no, like you were saying earlier, Jimmy, Imola, what a circuit though. It really is. Rhythm, precision, and confidence is needed to get around this track and to get around this track quickly, especially with 21 other cars next to Jim. How do you think they're going to find it tonight?
I think it's one of those ones where the early laps are going to be like very difficult because everyone's kind of pushing as hard as they can. Those first few corners are a bit crazy, and especially with that massive sort of sausage curves on the inside, if you hit one of those, it can get a bit hairy, and you can get a few big crashes early on. But there's also particular parts of it as well. I mean, there's a lot of elevation, so for the drivers, they're like, as you can see here, they're braking as they're going downhill. They're braking while they're turning. They're braking when they're going uphill. Then they're back on throttle when they're going uphill, across curves and everything. The car is just unsettled the entire way round. Well, for a lot of it anyway. And yeah, it can be a bit sketchy in those early laps. So the drivers have got a lot to think about. And it's one of those tracks that rewards bravery, I'd say.
No, it definitely does, Jim. Like I said, rhythm, precision, and confidence, I think, are needed to race around Imola. Me and you know what it's like to go out there in all arrays of different cars. We've done it in Formula, we've been in GT, we've been in the Toyotas as well out there, and it changes each and every time depending on what car you're out there in. That's why I wanted to get your opinion on the GT3s. I haven't done this track too many times in the GT3, so one thing I am looking forward to, Jim, is actually during the race when we get to see how it's going on when we do the onboard lap, because I think that's really going to give everybody at home a real good insight as to what these guys are looking at and what they're feeling as they go around this track. And you never know, we might be on board with someone who's doing a little bit of fighting as well, so it'll really show it. But back to what you were saying, Jimmy, those track limits, they really are so unforgiving. Look at all that gravel already sprayed out on track already there. The curbs, you already touched on that one. You really don't want to hit those too hard, do you? Because they can cost you some serious time if you take those curbs too harshly. We'll say really will unsettle the car, won't they? But it seems like they're all doing pretty well out there, Jim. Look how close those times are here in qualifying. So it seems like everybody's getting the got the hang of this track quite quickly tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a long track, but at 1 minute 40, it's long times, but it is a short track if you can kind of get what I mean. It's although it is fast, it's deceptively kind of shorter than you think,
Yeah,
and I think that does lend itself to kind of giving you these kind of closer lap times, and we're seeing like at Rob Smith to John Harley there, 6/1000ths of a second. Joshua Higgy to Craig Koresh, 10/1000ths of a second. Ryan Clark to Raymond Van Zutphen, 41/1000ths of a second. It's like, and then Aaron Sparks to Sean Clark as well. There's a 8/1000ths of a second. There's such close times between these drivers that they're basically there's a blink between when a lot of them are crossing the line between each other, and it's going to lend itself to some really good side by side racing, hopefully.
no, we do like to see it. We say it, don't we, Jim? And I say it every week. I like to see everybody who starts the race finish the race. I do like to see a really good battle out there on track. I love seeing a bit of paint exchange. But Jimmy, just before we go any further, we've had our first message of the evening in YouTube from a Mr. M. Right, I do apologise if I say this wrong, but Emil Johannesson Racing, Curtis Go. So I think he's go Curtis Go. So I think he's backing old Curtis MacArthur out there tonight. So, guys, good evening to you at home for watching as well. Let us know who you're backing tonight. We've got just under 4 minutes left of qualifying before Jimmy mentioned that little 5 minute warm, get everybody back out on track together, line up before we get this evening's feature race underway. Jimmy, we said a minute and 40 a lap. There's, like I said, there's just 3.5 minutes left of qualifying left to go. Do you think we're going to see many more changes out there?
I think I expect to see a couple more people as Aaron Sparks just goes third quickest of the AM class, but I reckon we might see a few more just because some of these track limits, some of these corners can get a bit like hairy, and some people might get a invalidated lap, so they're definitely going to want to go out and do another lap if they've still got time and laps left to do. So we might see a couple more, but I think this is roughly going to be the order that we're going to see as we have got about 3 minutes left to go.
Yeah, we will confirm, obviously, all how it's all going to be starting for tonight's 6 minute race when the qualifying does indeed end in a couple of minutes' time. But no, I think I've got to agree with you there, Jim. I don't think we're going to be seeing many more changes out there. We've still got a few cars out there at the minute. No one seems to be breaking any records out there currently. So I think we might see everybody pretty much as it is for now. Like I said, we will confirm that at the end of qualifying for everybody, won't we, Jim?
Absolutely, and we talked about Curtis MacArthur as he was mentioned in the YouTube chat, and yeah, he's been picked up by the Spectra boys. So he's part of Spectra Racing now, and
He's
I'm
one of the
interested to
Spectres.
I'm interested to see which color he's gone for, because they're all color coordinated over there at Spectra, aren't they?
Well,
And
I think we've got like an orange and black. I think we've got a purple and black. We've got a
there you go,
blue and
red and
black.
black.
There we go, red and black on Curtis MacArthur. Is that the
Oh, that's
same livery though? I feel like it's slightly different to the rest of them, but he's driving the Porsche. I believe the rest of them are in Mercedes, aren't they?
I think Mercedes and Ferraris, I think, aren't they mixed up between the two? Well, we'll see as the race goes on
We,
anyway. But yeah, I think there's a lot
100%.
of them in the Mercedes.
There you go. There you go. Another message from our very own Daniel Paulo Jimmy in the YouTube. Good evening. One of my favourite tracks. Cheering on Tim Reed, Josh Heagy, and Mr. Jordan Butler tonight. Good luck, all. Thank you for that one, Daniel. Good to hear off you. Thank you for joining us again, my mate. We'll make sure we keep an eye on all those boys out there for you as the race goes on this evening. But a minute and a half left, Jimmy. If they're not already out there, they're not going to improve on their time. See how everybody finishes up for the last few moments of this qualifying session. As Joshua Healy just hits that curve a little bit and unsettles his car slightly. See what I really see what you mean, though, Jim, when you talk about those curbs. A tiny little touch over more than needed there. You really saw how much that pushed his car over.
Yeah, because the car sort of bottoms out a little bit when obviously when tires are in the air, they're not on the ground, so they're not pushing your car along, so it's going to slow you down a little bit. And yeah, some of them can be really scary when you hit them wrong. But just to mention as well, if you have got anyone in the to anyone in the YouTube chat, if there's anyone you want to give a shout out to during the race, let us know in the YouTube chat, and we'll give them a shout out in the stream.
No, absolutely. We are going to keep on board with everybody. We'll keep everybody up to date with where everybody is during tonight's race when we do get underway. We've got just over 30 seconds left of qualifying now. Last few cars still out there, still just trying to maybe do something before the end of that time there, Jim. So we'll have to see if any of these guys can improve on their time and their positions out on track as we go into the last, 15 seconds, 20 seconds now.
Yeah, I feel like most of the time that's out, or anyone that's out there now, is purely just getting in some extra laps of practice, aren't they?
Oh yeah, you get the 5 minutes. You get the 5 minutes before the race starts. But we usually see a couple of cars out there doing a lap or two, don't we, before they all start to line up for the rolling start of this race. But there you go, Jim. That is the 15 minutes done and dusted. Shall we have a little look at how everybody has qualified?
Yep. So starting from P1 in the elite division, we have Michael Gray leading the way with Craig Corish, Joshua Heagy, Adam Wilson-Weir, and Tim Reedy, your top five. We then have Otto Karas in sixth place, but leading the way in the pros, followed by Curtis MacArthur, Rob Smith, Phil Giles, John Harley, and Matthew Massey. We have Joseph Greathouse leading the way in the AMs, but with 12th overall in position, followed by Jordan Butler, Ryan Clark, Raymond Van Zutphen, Aaron Sparks, Christopher Haynes, James Moore. Then we have James Vardigans, Sean Clark, Sergio Cabral, and Casper Roost are your 22 drivers on track this evening. And I just want to point out, we talked about it last week with the two Jameses always together in in timings and on the track, and it's nice to see them together after last week's debacle.
They really can't leave each other alone out there, can they, Jimmy? Whether that's in qualifying and they're not next to each other and they can't see each other, or actually out there in the race, you always see the Jameses together, don't you?
Yeah, I do quite enjoy seeing them out there as well. On board with Adam Wilson Weir with his insane livery there.
That
So
is
vibrant.
something. That is something to behold, Jimmy. But you can't be too shocked by that because I remember seeing a livery that you showed me this week that was fairly close to that one, my mate. So I think that's right up your street, if you to be completely honest, aren't you?
Yeah, me and my Corvette GT3.
Yes, I've seen it. I've seen it, and it is a thing of beauty. It is a thing of beauty. It's
Oh
definitely
no, it
one of
was.
those
It was
you see.
horrific.
Well, you see, it's definitely a standout on track, and we'll we'll definitely be seeing him out on track tonight. But Jimmy, just before we do get into that race, we've got
Oh,
a
so
few minutes
I
to
didn't
go.
want to say Adams was
Oh, go on.
horrific. I was saying that my livery was horrific. I just want to
You're
make
no,
that very clear.
no, we know. Oh, there you go, little spin there. No, we do know. Everyone knows, Jimmy, that I was, of course, only talking about yours. I'm not going to insult these guys out there tonight racing away for us. Come on, Jimmy, you should know me better by now. I'm
No,
going to insult
I
you
know,
with
I
the
know. I
cars
just wanted to
each and every
clarify.
single week.
I just want to clarify we're talking about my livery. That was shocking, not these guys.
Anyway, Jimmy,
Anyway, moving on,
before we
moving
get
on.
into this 60-minute race, we do have a prize pool sponsor this year. Do you want to remind everybody at home what is up for grabs this season?
Absolutely. So we have a total of £150 prize money up for grabs this season, and it'll be split three ways, with the £50 going to the overall winner of the elite class. Then we have another 50 for the overall winner of pros, and then the final 50 will go to the overall winner of the AMs. So elites are going to be the ones with the purple next to their name. Pros are going to be the ones with the blue next to their name, and AMs are going to be the ones with the yellow next to their name on the timing boards on the top left.
There you go. Nice little extra incentive there for the end of season winners in each of their classes, respectively. Always just gives it a little bit more when there's a little bit of catch up to grab, Jimmy. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It would always make me race a little bit harder. So, no, thanks again to Murby Goes, Clark and James Motorsport and Spectre Racing for putting up that prize pool for us this season. Jimmy, we got a couple of minutes to go. These guys are out here just getting their last few corners in, last few turns in, we'll say, and last bit of feel for this track before we get underway tonight. 21, I think it is, cars we've got. Or is it 22 cars
22.
out there? 22 cars. I do apologise, out there tonight. Hopefully, we're going to get a really interesting race out there, mate.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, Imola is one of my favourites, and I know it is one of yours as well, because it's a good racer's track. And as you see someone just taking the scenic route there, no attempt to even get back on track, just going for a little bit of rallycross there.
A little bit of rallycross, very expensive lawnmower, as we like to say when we see him doing that, Jimmy, out there. But no, hopefully he keeps it off of the grass, out of the gravel tonight, and on the track. And we should see some really good racing. Just under a minute to go now until these guys start to line up. How does it all work here at the start of this race, Jimmy? Just remind everybody at home.
Yep, so as the warm-up ends, we'll see all the drivers will line up in their grid positions. We then follow the cars for a short lap around the track, and they'll follow behind the safety car. As soon as the safety car dips into the pit lane, it's then down to when the driver in P1 crosses the start-finish line. That is when they all go. So we'll see the lights flick on the top of your screen. You'll see them at the top, and then that is when they'll be underway.
No, there you go, there you go. Last few seconds of walk to go, Jimmy. So we should start to see everybody line up in just a moment's time.
Before
And
we do though, Gaz, I think I don't know if you want to read the second to last chat we got message we got in the YouTube chat, and then read the last.
there we go, from a Valeria Zanato. If I said that wrong, I do apologise. Have a good race, Christopher Haynes, and a happy birthday. So Christopher Haynes' birthday out there today. Definitely keep an eye out on the birthday boy and see how he gets on this evening. And as always, Baz Racing, evening chaps, evening Baz. It's good to see you joining us again in the comments tonight. Still looking forward to seeing you again next season as well, out on track with the rest of them, mate. But good to have you here with us, Jimmy. They're going to be lining up any moment now to begin that rolling start behind the safety car, and then we've got 60 minutes of GT3 racing action, and that is exactly what the doctor has ordered on this Monday evening for myself.
Well, I mean, it's a different. I only got different doctor's orders for Baz there in the YouTube chat. No racing for me tonight. Twisted ankle. That is rough. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
twisting your ankle is just the worst. Especially when you like twist it, like doing something silly, like just stepping off a curb or something, and you just go down. And yeah, but we're seeing
No.
a. I don't know.
How did you do it, Baz? Just let us know in the comments. How did you do that, if you don't mind? I'm really interested to know, my mate. So no, there you go. Last few cars lining up, Jimmy, before we start rolling, and there you go.
Yep,
Safety car
safety
has
car.
moved.
Safety car is off, and we'll probably see the drivers start doing a little bit of wiggling on track. There you go, getting a bit of heat into those tyres. And yeah, once again, before we start, happy birthday to our very own Christopher Haynes there.
There you go, Christopher. If you win tonight, you might get a happy birthday from me, and I'll sing it to you in the interview afterwards. So you might not want to win tonight.
I'm glad he said happy birthday, so I could say something different. But no, going
James,
into the race,
PG, keep it PG. Come on, come on.
I'll keep it a PJ. No, but no, okay, so the drivers are out there doing a bit of wiggling on track, getting a bit of heat into those tyres, and yeah, a couple more corners left before the safety car will dip into the pit lane, and we'll be underway. So we're down to, I believe, Michael Gray was in first.
He was in
And
first. He did qualify first place with Adam Wilson. We're just behind him in second with Craig Corish behind him as well, Jimmy. So that should straighten itself out in just a moment's time.
sorry, Baz Racing, their MTB accident is how he
Mountain
twisted his
bike,
ankle.
I
Yeah, I was gonna say
believe
it was
that
that
is.
mountain bike. Oh, that's
Who's
gonna
doing
be a
mountain biking? Come on, Baz.
yeah. Who's doing
GT3.
exercise? That's
Who
foolish.
does who does exercise really? No, we do like to promote a healthy lifestyle here on Trackside. So guys, make sure you do your exercising.
Yeah, we don't lead by example, but we do promote health.
There you go. Anyway, Jimmy, the safety car has peeled in now, so they're going to be heading towards that line, and our race is going to get underway any moment now.
Yep, so they're coming up to those grid boxes, and then it'll be across the line any second. And I believe there we go. They've crossed that start finish line. Oh no, now they've
No,
crossed the
next
start
line.
finish line. Now they're off. And I felt like it was a little bit delayed there, but yeah, they are now underway. Michael Gray leading the way, just the hair ahead of Craig Corish as they enter that first turn. And let's see how the drivers get on with those massive curves on the inside. Did they keep it all nice, calm, and collected? I believe so. Very well behaved from everyone there. Good start to them, with Michael Gray pulling a massive half-second lead already after that first turn.
No, there you go, Jimmy. Not a lot of changes. Everybody's kept it real clean at the start of this race. The race leaders, Michael Gray for the Elite Cycle Carriers and
Oh, you
Joseph
had to call it. You
Greathouse.
had to call it, didn't you?
I did
Phil
right then and
Giles,
there, right
bro.
then and
Phil
there.
Giles. Oh, he's fallen to the back. I don't know if that was a bit of netcode or something as he's come around there. So I've not quite enough space and just taps the
No.
back of the Ferrari. But hopefully he can get it like back. Lost 4.5 seconds this early on though. I think he should be alright climbing back up through the ranks to get back into the rest of the pros there.
Well, we say each and every single week here in these GT3s, Jimmy, if you're gonna have an accident or go off track, get it done and out of the way early. He's got still 60 minutes of this race left, or just under 60 minutes of this race left to go. So no, all well and good. Get it done, get it out of the way. But no, Jim, what I was saying, your race leaders for each of the classes, Joseph Greathouse in the AMs, also Paris in the pros, and Michael Gray in the elites, still leading the way respectively since the start of this race a few minutes ago. And there's not really been many changes since the start of that race. A couple of little position swaps here and there. Nothing too major though going on from the start. Everybody's kept it real clean and real under control to start this race off here this evening.
Yeah, so just quickly, the incident involving car number 444 and 21 being investigated. So that'll be Rob Smith and Phil Giles. So we'll let you know what the
I
viewers say
can't.
about that one. But
Yeah, I'm not too sure if anything really come of that one, really, Jim. I just think Phil went with the corner like he was going to, but it just wasn't quite so much space there on the inside as he thought there was. So, the
oh,
back end of his car of Rob Smith's car was that there just fell off.
okay, I think
Oh,
that
it's
might have
back
been
on.
a yeah, I think that
That
might
might
have
be
been
an
a
iRacing.
Yeah, that was gonna say. I think that's just an internet issue, and I was gonna say, if the rear wing fell off that car, I was like, very door banging over there. Bloody. Oh, I don't want to swear, but blimey. And let's see what's happened. Let's take another look at that one. So leaving each other absolutely no room, and yeah, luckily you still got the wing on the back of that car. Otherwise, that would have been pretty scary going into that braking zone. But now let's see what happens here. The Mustang tracks wide, and then yeah, just forces the other car off, and then loses it himself, and then poor
Ryan
Mercedes
Clark.
has nowhere to go. Front
Poor
bumpers come
Ryan
off
Clark
though,
there.
but
Yeah, poor Ryan Clark, nowhere to go there as he come across the track, and he's just T-boned straight to the side of him, lost his front bumper there. And we
oh,
got a bit
Rob,
of crabbing going on here from Rob Smith as well. He just can't keep it out there, Jimmy. There's no back end left for that car at all.
no, without a rear wing, those cars have absolutely no grip, and they will always just start spinning around. Not a great start for Rob Smith. And yeah,
Well,
Matthew
he's putting
Massey falling down the ranks a bit there as well. But just point out, Phil Giles though already on the back of Ryan Clark, so he made up a lot of places in that one lap. So let's keep an eye on him, see if he can get back up to those top pros where he around where he qualified as well.
No, we'll have to have a look what happens there. Michael Gray setting the fastest lap so far at 1:41.8. Fastest lap of the race so far this evening. Not long gone, though. Plenty of time left for that to be broken. But from top to bottom, Michael Gray still leading the way, followed by Craig Cornish in P2 and Tim Reed in P3. That is your top three in the elites and top three out on track, followed by Joshua Heagy in P4 and Adam Wilson Weir in P5. Otto Carriage P6 out on track, P1 for the pros, followed by Curtis MacArthur in P2 and John Harley in P3. Joseph Greathouse leading the way in the AMS again this week. Qualified in P1, stayed in P1 so far this race. P9 out on track, P1 for the AMS. Jordan Butler then down P10, P4 for the pros, followed by James Moore, P2 for the AMS. Christopher Haynes, P3 for the AMS, with Aaron Sparks and Sean Clark just behind him. Ryan Clark and Phil Giles then trying to make their way back up the leaderboard, try and get back to the rest of the pros in P15 and 16 out on track. James Vardigan's P17 with Sergio Cabral in P18, Casper Bruce in P19, followed by Raymond Van Zutphen and Matt Massey currently at the back of the pack. Rob Smith still not out of the pits at the moment. Do you think he's going to come back out, Jimmy?
Yeah, I reckon he'll come back out. I think it's just a matter of just being towed back to the pit lane. Just takes a little bit of time, but those guys have got a fast repair, so hopefully you can get that fixed and
Yeah, I was
get
hoping
back
to see
racing.
him back out by now, Jimmy. Sat in there for quite a while. He pretty much put himself there immediately when we was on board with him. When we saw the spin, there you go.
There you
He's
go.
just coming out just now. There we go. Let's have a look at
So
what's happened with James Moore, Jim.
I believe we had an incident here. So where do they go? Goes around the corner, and Mercedes takes a lot more speed going into there as James starts turning in. I think he just carried a little bit too much speed and then takes the back of
Yeah, it's
James Moore and
Christopher
spins
Haynes.
him around. Oh,
Christopher Haynes there in the yellow Mercedes there, Jim. So that's a horrible one there on the corner, losing a lot of positions out in track. Did you see everybody else going around? Someone else did tag the back of him and ended up spinning himself around. Wasn't quite sure who that was,
yeah,
but
it's such a horrible part of the track to get stuck on and to be spun round on because that's
no, it
right on
really
the
is.
the apex where you're going to be carrying quite a bit of speed. So as we see the ghost of Matthew Massey there apparently.
There you
Yeah,
go.
James Moore. Yeah,
Was that Phil Giles spinning off to just the right of the camera there that I saw, Jim? Because if it was, that's really unfortunate for him.
speed. Oh,
Oh my.
and away he goes. Oh, that is just everyone but the last car that comes around just collects him.
Every Pretty much, yeah. I think there was two cars that clipped in there, but the last car absolutely collected him. Poor old James Moore in that one. I think that started with Christopher Haynes just next to him there, Jimmy, into that corner. So no, the marshals will have a look at that one and let us know what they think soon and what the outcome of that is going to be. Another comment though on YouTube though, Jimmy, from Liam Hook. Good luck, Jordan Butler. So Jordan's got a fan in here tonight as well. So we'll keep an eye on Jordan, see how he's getting on. Currently P4 in class at the moment, Liam. P4 in class, P10 out on track. He's got a little bit of work, so he's got to get past the P1 of Joseph Greathouse in the AM class ahead of him before he can catch up to those podium spots. But no, we'll see how he gets on tonight.
Yeah, because Jordan is he's a fast driver, but so is Joseph, so he's got his work cut out for him. And I do have another message from our very own Harry Price. He's saying, watching the race at home. He'll be back next Monday for the race. Have a good one tonight to us here. So yeah, thank you, Harry, and yeah, hope you enjoy the race and keep it chill this evening. And we look forward to having you back for the next race.
No, we'll definitely see you back next week, mate. We'll see you back next week. But no, little confirmation for you there on screen, Jimmy, just as you were going through that. Marshals are looking at the incident there between James Moore and Christopher Haynes that happened just a moment ago, which we followed on with James Moore getting collected right at the end there by the car at the back of the pack.
I think you mentioned it that there might have been Phil Giles kind of getting involved in that as well. Yeah, he has dropped off the back of Ryan Clark that he was sort of racing next to, hasn't he? So he might have lost a bit of time there, but he climbed up the ranks fairly quickly. So I imagine he'll climb them up again fairly soon.
Yeah,
But Otto Karas, though, sorry, just quickly, just notice he's constantly on the back of those elites, isn't he? It never gives them a little bit of rest, does he? He's always up there battling with them as he's sat just behind the back of Adam Wilson-Wheeler.
no, absolutely, mate, absolutely. And he missed out. He missed out last week through no incident of his own. He qualified P1 at Zandvoort. Sadly, missed out on a podium position though last week, but he did win back in Monza when we were last in Italy. So we'll see how he gets on. He seems to be very, very strong out there, Jimmy. He's got just over what? He's got just under 3 seconds to Curtis McArthur behind him, so he's got a little bit of time to play with. So keep doing what you're doing, Otto, really. He's in his own little race at the moment. He hasn't got to worry about anyone else in front of him. He's only got the elites in front of him. He's, what, half a second behind Adam Wilson. We're in P5 on track. And like I said, he's just over 3 seconds on Curtis McArthur. Absolutely phenomenal. But there you go, Jimmy. Sorry, just confirmation there. That's a 5 second penalty for Rob Smith for causing that collision a little while ago. Just confirmation on screen for you.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. I mean, he took he took him out then quite. I mean, I don't think there was any kind of malice in it. It was just I think he just got a bit overconfident with his speed going into the corner, and then just pushed him a little bit wide, didn't he? And then I think the problem is with these GT3s, you hit that back bumper and it seems to just spin them round, doesn't it? As we saw earlier on in the race. And
Yeah, it just seems to collect. It just throws you quite a lot off as soon as you touch someone else, really, on that back bump, like you said, Jimmy. And it's going to be something these guys are going to have to be wary of out here tonight with 50 minutes of this race still to go, just under 10 minutes gone at the moment.
yeah, and I gotta say, Ryan Clark's doing very well for keeping pace out there on track this evening with missing the whole face of his car, that, as you can see, as he follows behind the back of Aaron Sparks there. So I don't know if he's using a little bit of that tow from Aaron Sparks,
Well,
even though the slipstream from the GT3s isn't the best, but it might be
well, no,
helping him kind of stay out on track a bit longer.
sorry, Michael Gray, 141.2 going another fast time out there. No, Jimmy, I think with Ryan Clark, I think it's only really, it looks like his grill came up. It doesn't look like he's got much else going on wrong up in the front of his car there. So if anything, he's just sucking more and more air. There's no grill in the way now. So he's getting as much air as he can into that engine to get out, to get himself up there and get himself quicker out on track. So no, it'll be really interesting to see what Ryan can do. But he has got James Vardigan's the am just behind him as well, a few tenths. So we've got to keep him in mind as well. I know they're in two different classes, but when you're out there and they're the only cars you've got around you, they're the cars that you are racing. So you won't want to lose another position to an AM, but silver lining, you're not going to be dropping down any more positions in your class, in the pro class.
Yeah, and just quickly, incident between James Moore and Matthew Massey, no further action, classified as a racing incident. So, yeah, that's steward's decision on that one. So nothing to worry about there.
There you go. Get on with your racing. Get on with your racing. Obviously, you get the if you get the marks against you, Jimmy, what is it, 20 penalty points you do have to serve a drive through, so those drivers won't want that out there tonight. It is a fast track, isn't it? Passing on this track really, really isn't easy.
I mean, down that start-finish straight, I think is a really, really good opportunity
Yeah.
to get an overtake done because it's so long. You can get that slipstream and just get enough alongside that you can then battle through the next few corners because they are so fast that yeah, it allows you both to kind of carry enough speed that you're not going to, and it's wide enough that you can both carry
Yeah.
enough speed through, but you're not going to
All
slow
right.
each other down. And just
Sorry,
quickly,
Jimmy, just going to cut you off. Yeah, I think I know what you're about to say. The car 97, Christopher Haynes, who we saw a moment ago in that replay in the yellow Mercedes, 5-second penalty for causing that collision with James Moore. James
there you
Moore.
go.
James.
Happy
There's too
birthday
many
to
Jameses in here.
happy birthday to to him
Happy,
there
bir-
for
happy birthday, Christopher Haynes. Our marshal out on track tonight has given you a 5-second penalty. You can thank him later in the Discord.
yeah. As birthday presents go, not one you'd have on the list, but
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd be quite happy with that one, but no, you do understand why it has been given there, though, Jim, can't you? We did have a little look at it at the time, and he just didn't leave enough room for James there coming around into that corner. He's tracked out and caused that collision, so I think the 5 seconds is deserved there.
yeah, I mean it's one of those things, isn't it? If he accidentally ruins someone else's race, even if it is an accident, he's still kind of got to take the hit, and in the long run, yeah,
Yeah,
5 seconds isn't the worst.
no, it isn't the worst, isn't the worst, and yeah, it could have been a lot worse, though, couldn't it, Jim? Really?
I mean, yeah, and well, they're all back up racing. No one's dead, so I
No
think
one's
yeah,
dead.
just crack on and keep racing, and then yeah, it's all a bit of fun at the end of the day.
No, it really is. It really is. But no, we've just coming up to that quarter mark in a minute's time. Michael Gray still leading the way for the elites. Arto Karras still leading the way for the pros. And Joseph Greathouse still leading the way in the AMs. Just want to touch on it real quick, though. Joseph Greathouse is having a phenomenal season in the AMs, isn't he, Jim?
Yeah, he's just taken off. He's battling with the top pros consistently every single race, and yeah, he's
So,
making a name for himself at the moment, isn't he?
yeah, so I'm just having a little look through it, right? Apart from one qualifying, which was at Monza, and he just missed out to Raymond Van Sutphen, he has qualified and finished every race in P1 so far, apart from that one qualifying session. He's
I mean,
having a phenomenal season. He's going to take some beating out there.
yeah, and the fact that we're on the halfway mark and on race 4 of 8 tonight. I mean, if he can finish it in those in P1 again, that is going to put him in really good standing to win the championship at the end. So, but yeah, I mean, anything could happen for those last few races. So if you are in the P2 driver in the standings, yeah, I wouldn't be too worried at the moment. But yeah, you need to
Yeah,
find that extra gear in your gearbox and find a little bit extra speed if you can.
just get really pally with Joseph and ask him what he's doing out there, because surely he's doing something phenomenal out there to be doing what he's done so far this season. But Jimmy, we touched on it. Sorry, just to move slightly off Joseph Greathouse for now. We touched on it just at the start, like with this kind of track, with how intricate it can be. I'm thinking a little bit earlier than usual. Do you feel like giving us an onboard, Jim, letting us see how it all gets on?
Absolutely, and I think this is one of my favorite ones to do
Well,
because
shall
like
we?
it's such a different track to witness when you're like on board compared to
Well, I'll tell you what, we've done it a couple of times with him now. We'll stick with Michael Gray. He's leading the way again. We've done Michael Gray last couple of weeks. Shall we see how he handles the track out there? See how he is compared to other weeks as well. And do you want to let everybody at home know exactly how it goes on out there and what he's going through?
yeah, we'll do when we start the beginning of the next lap, as we're about coming up to about halfway through the lap. So we'll I'll do a run through when we get to it.
No, absolutely. It's really interesting. I think it gives the viewers at home a real good idea of how it all works, Jimmy. But there's some good tracks coming up from Baz Racing, so he's going to be missing this one though. So no, you'll be back for the next one, Baz. So just keep your feet up, keep it well and relaxed, and we'll see you out there next week, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean ankle injuries are always a bit rough. You don't want to overdo it too soon. So yeah, don't stress yourself about getting back in racing. But yeah,
Hey, look,
it'd be nice to see you behind the wheel.
Baz, if it's any consolation, I fell down a curb a couple of weeks ago, rolled my ankle. It was a whole massive thing, so I really understand your pain, mate. We're two soldiers getting through this together. There you go.
But the important thing is you're not being dramatic about it.
No, absolutely not, and I haven't mentioned it 100 times, Jimmy. But look, we're starting that lap with Michael Gray. Let everybody at home know what we're going through.
Yep, so we're going down the start finish straight at the moment. Coming up is there'll be a slight kink in the road, and then we're into a heavy braking zone into this beautiful chicane with these massive sausage curbs on the inside. There we go, braking zone, and look, there's big black and white sausage curbs on black and yellow, sorry, on the inside. And as you go flat out through here, use all the curb on exit, even touching the grass to carry as much speed through as possible. Then we get to a shorter version of that little chicane here. Again, carrying as much speed through and then tracking out as wide as you dare without getting it off track by going too far over to the left. Then heavy braking zone. Now we're going uphill, so you've got to be very careful on the throttle on exit. Again, tracking wide, using every millimeter possible. Then this next section coming up is one of my absolute favourite. We have a nice little left-hander here, and you carry quite a lot more speed through than you think. Use a lot of mechanical grip to get through this corner. You can see very twitchy. And then we've got this amazing downhill section here into a heavy right-hander, braking, turning, keeping the car balanced all the way through, back on the throttle as early as you can, using all the curb on exit, bouncing your way down to this kind of little straight, and then we have this amazing chicane where you just attack the curves as hard as you can to get through as quick as possible, like right over both those curves, using every millimeter on exit, with just two more corners to go before the end of the race, with a huge downhill braking zone. Again, you've got to be careful with those brakes. You don't want to overdo it and lock up and go into the gravel that's right ahead of you. Using that curb just to shorten the time on track. Again, use the curb again, getting back on the throttle as early as possible, tracking out wide, and then we're down to that start finish straight once again. So you can see a lot of elevation, a lot of like difficult braking zones, and a lot of curves that you got to be careful of around here. It is a challenge for those drivers.
I tell you what, Jimmy, it's a real insight when we get an on board like that, and you see like that minute and 40, minute and 41, I think that was there just over. Like it absolutely flew by for one, and there is so much to do. For someone who's not massively into racing, let's just take your average Joe viewer. They look at a track map of Imola and they kind of see what goes on with like the Formula One, let's say, because everybody knows what goes on with the Formula One when they look at tracks like this.
Oh, just quickly though, Phil
Yeah,
Giles diving down the inside of Ryan Clark there, just taps his inside. I think Ryan Clark black flag potentially for incident limit reached. He's not going to be happy about that one, as he's got to pit just that little bit early that he won't be able to take advantage of the
oh, sorry,
refuel.
Jimmy. Has that black flag come up there from that incident with Phil Giles? Because that popped up at exactly the moment that Phil
I
Giles
believe
tapped into
so.
the side. Now, if I look at that, I don't see that Ryan's done anything wrong there. So surely that's got to be looked at. But
Well,
Ryan's already dipped into the pits now, so this is going to impact his race.
well, the thing is, I mean, he would have got 4 incident points out of the 20 from that collision. And that yes, that wouldn't have been his fault, but that does also mean there were 16 other incident points unaccounted for, which
Yes.
I think he has got to take blame for in that circumstance. And I think, yeah, it's we mentioned it briefly at the start. It's one of those tracks where it's so easy to get an off track because you're using so much of the curbing and you're going so wide and using every millimeter of the track that those incident points can rack up quite quickly.
No, it really, really can, Jimmy, especially when there's so many cars out there with you on track. It is just rather unfortunate, but he was able to dive straight in and get it served straight away.
I
But
just
no,
have you
really,
seen the note from the marshals there? Those innocent points are from him getting hit from collisions from other people. So it has just been a very rough race for him there. I
and
I do feel for him.
oh,
I do really feel for him.
that's what I meant when I said what I said, Jimmy. Like, surely that's something the marshals would have to look at. But he's already served his penalty. He's back out on track. We saw the confirmation of it there a moment ago on screen. That is really, really, really unfortunate for Ryan Clark there. If all of those points have come from someone else out on
Yeah, just
track.
quickly, lovely overtake from Tim Reed there as Craig Korish now is looking to get for the attack once again if he can get alongside. But yeah, Tim Reed just dipped his nose on the inside at the right time, managed to get such a good exit with even taking the shorter line through that bit of the track. I mean, fair play to him for getting the move done and making it stick. But
No,
yeah,
absolutely brilliant move there from Tim Reed to get himself up against Craig Korish and he give himself a few attempts there. But no, Jimmy, like I just said a moment ago, it is going to actually be looked at by the marshals. The incident there between Ryan Clark and Phil Giles, they're going to have a little look at that one. So we'll see what does come of that. But again, I'm just going to say it. Ryan Clark dived into the pits straight away to serve that black flag penalty. And for me, if I haven't caused those incident points myself, and I've just picked them up going along, having my race, I'm going to be pretty PO'd about that one.
Yeah, I can see that as well as we look at Marshmallow212 in the chat. Mate, the second I get punished because of other drivers, I'm out. That's crazy. I mean, I can kind of see that it's going to be beyond frustrating to yeah, to get a penalty from just incidents that weren't your fault. But
The one thing as well, Jimmy, look at the times as well. We were what 20? It was about 20 minutes gone. We've had a couple of minutes since. We're 22 minutes into this race now. We are so close to that pit stop time, that pit stop block as well, where we start to see people come in and out.
yeah, and that's what I was saying. That it's such an unfortunate time. If it was even 5 minutes later, he'd be able to fuel save and get to the end if he needed to. But being this
Yeah.
early on, that is going to be a absolute feat, and he's going to have to do a second pit stop, I reckon.
No, we'll have to see what happens out there with him. But no, really unfortunate there for Ryan Clark, and we will keep everybody updated with what does come from the marshals on that one. Just want to touch back on a comment we had earlier though from Baz Racing. He's asked me if it was alcohol infused when I fell off the curb. No, it was not. I was trying to avoid hitting the lamppost walking into that one, and I fell off the curb completely. So there's that one for you, Baz. So just don't be an idiot out there, mate. But there you go. And Jimmy, Phil Giles picks himself up a 5-second penalty, dive bombing, causing that collision. That's a tough one, especially when Ryan served his penalty already, like I've said a couple of times now. But I'm glad that the marshals have had a look at that one because that was not Ryan's fault at all there.
No, and I mean, yeah, I think it's deserved for Phil Giles there. I mean, especially on that corner that he was on, he had that huge straight coming up just the corner after. And if he just waited a moment before he made the move, he could have done so cleanly and without affecting either of their races. But yeah, sadly, that's made Ryan Clark there have to take a penalty, and then so has Phil from that one as well. I think Phil was just driving a little bit
Yeah.
frustrated, just trying to get moves done way too
He's had,
aggressively, and then
I don't think you can mind me saying, Jimmy, but he's had a few incidents this season. He's not having the greatest of seasons, so to say. He's involved in something out there in each race, I believe, so far. So I think he might just be getting in his own head a little bit. Like you said, he's driving angrily, he's driving aggressively out there. Just needs to calm himself down, get his head down, get focused, get back in the zone, and see what he can do. But Jim, we are 24 and a half minutes gone. Michael Gray still leading the way for the elites, followed by Tim Reed and Craig Corish in the podium spots for the elites. John Heagy in P4 with Adam Wilson in P5. Otto Karras, who we are looking at right now in this blue and white Lamborghini. That does look beautiful out there. Still leading the way in the pros with John Harley about 5.5 seconds off of him. He's in a race at the moment with these elites, trying to catch up to the back of Adam Wilson Weir. And Adam will be thinking, hopefully he doesn't get too involved with him because otherwise that's going to let everybody else go. I'm sure you'll agree with me there, Jim.
oh yeah, I couldn't agree more. And like, just there's also three cars within half a second of each other out on track, and oh, we cut to those two cars now.
There you go. Let's
As
have a little look. So James Vardigans here in the white and the pink. What's going on, Jim?
So it looked like he might have got unsettled a little bit, hitting that bump as hard as he did, which slowed him down a little bit. And then, yeah, the car behind us goes for the dive after he's already turned into the corner, wasn't quite committed enough, and then just the tip of his nose in at the wrong time and spun him around.
Aaron
I think,
Sparks.
yeah, I
That
think
was
that was
Aaron.
yeah, that might be you might get a telling off at some point soon, I imagine, from that one, because that is
Well, I'm
yeah.
waiting for the notification to pop up on screen, Jimmy, that one's going to be looked at because it surely has to be looked at, that one by our marshals. He's a very busy boy tonight, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean I mean Imola is one of those frustrating tracks where it is difficult to overtake because you can't always overtake every single lap, and then if someone is just a little bit slower in front of you but they're good at defending, then it does frustrate you and slow you down a little bit more and more and more as the race goes on. But you got to overtake sensible, and I think
Really do.
diving from like if you're gonna make those moves where you just dart to the inside of a car, you've got to be bumper to bumper with them to begin with. You can't be doing it from multiple car lengths back, otherwise, especially when
It's a
the other
dive
car in
bomb.
front is already turning into the corner.
Well, it would be what, the second or third dive bomb that we've seen so far this evening, Jimmy, in 26 minutes of racing tonight.
Yeah, and how many of them have gone well? I think that's the
None of
story
them.
of it.
None of them, and I think they've all resulted in a 5-second penalty. So I'm fairly confident. I'm sure I know what's coming here potentially, but no, we won't call anything until we do see it. There was confirmation a moment ago that was being looked at by the marshals. The car 42 and car number 6, Aaron Sparks and James Vardigans. But we're just having a look at Craig Corish here, Jim. Look how close he is to the side of him there, to the car in front. He's not going to want to let him get in his way though, because he's got Tim Reed and Michael Gray to catch up with in front of him.
No, but that's kind of what I meant when when I was talking about the overtakes where Phil Giles dived to the inside. If he waited, he could have done exactly what we saw Craig doing there just a moment ago. Just follow behind that car, use that slipstream on exit, and then just get the move done on the straight. And
Yeah,
and it works beautifully for him. And I think that's the difference between the elites and the pros. There, I think it's just that sort of
just shows.
the strategy element of it. I think is kind of the real difference between the two
Well,
different classes there. Because I mean, as Otto is proving, there's not a lot of pace difference between the two classes. But as he's hanging on the
nope.
back of that Porsche the entire race, and as we see the cars just going past I believe that's the lapped car of James Moore there.
There you go, Jimmy. But confirmation now, car number 42, that is Aaron Sparks' 5-second penalty for causing a collision. So we did think it was going to be a 5-second penalty, and it is a 5-second penalty there for him for causing that incident a moment back with James Vardigans. But touching on that one, Daniel Paul in the comments, Jim,
Yeah, I was just
it's
reading that.
harsh, but we are aware of our incident points. If it's near the limit after 80 minutes into the race, you have to race differently and be aware of what's around you. I do understand how it works, and I know what you guys do see when you're out there driving. You do know exactly how many points you're on, and Daniel raises a very good point. If after 18 minutes you are that close to a penalty, you've got to change the way you've raced enough, haven't you?
Yeah, and I think when you look at it this way, like even if the incidents aren't his fault, he didn't cause them. He's got into 4 crashes with other drivers in 18 minutes, and there's an element of accident avoidance that you can take, whether it's just like darting to go off track to avoid the incident, so you get 1x rather than 4x of 1 incident point versus 4 incident points for going off
No,
track versus hitting another car, and
yeah.
just things like that. And I think it's just one of those things that like
Well, like I
obviously
think it's like
it's
Daniel
split
said.
second decisions, isn't it? And
Yeah,
yeah.
I think Daniel nails it though on the head there, mate. You've just got to change up the way that you're driving, really, haven't you? After with so long left of the race to go. But Jimmy, sorry, something that's just caught my eye. Joshua Hege, he looks a little bit young to be driving these cars, doesn't he?
Yeah, see his little profile picture down there at the bottom now.
Yeah, we've given the drivers the chance this year to upload a little photo of themselves if they wanted to. Some have and some haven't. It's all in good fun. We did tell them to make sure it was appropriate for the internet. But no, Joshua Hege, you are looking a little bit young to be driving there, mate. But as an elite in P4 at the moment, you are doing phenomenally. Keep it going, little buddy.
I got to say that there's Ryan Clark spinning around there, and does he
Does he
keep it?
keep it?
Oh, it keeps it held though, beautifully using the brakes to kind of keep the car balanced, and
Oh,
then
does he go? Does he go afterwards? We're not too sure if he went afterwards. Though it did look like he was coming around the other way, though. There, Jim.
a little cliffhanger for you there. And I got to say that, and I think everyone on iRacing has probably experienced it at one point or another, and that is like when you're battling with someone and you hear them over comms with that squeaky little prepubescent voice of a 8-year-old, and they're like, "How is this 8-year-old 5K I rating?" And they're battling with everyone else, and you're just like, "I hate this."
There you go. Well, I'm sure he actually probably a bit older just to confirm it for everybody, but no, there you go. So, Jimmy, I don't know if you caught it a moment ago, but the stewards have actually now put out a warning to all the drivers. So they would have got that flashed up on their displays for them. So they are going to penalise the dive bombs harshly. We are seeing too much of it tonight by the look of it. We haven't had that kind of warning so far this season. So it seems like the stewards are putting their foot down quite early on this dive bombing. What's your thoughts on that one?
I agree with it. I think I'm very much not a fan of a dive bomb. Like I know they work, but they only work because of like people just avoiding the accident. Like it's if a
Yeah.
car's already turning in and you see someone just lunging at you, you then reacting by going like, okay, well, I'll quickly dart out the way just so we don't crash, and then they get the move done on you. It's not racing at that point. It's just accident avoidance, and that's not fun. So I
No.
get it, and we want to see those nice clean overtakes as we've seen here with Craig Corish and Tim Reed, and I think they're a good example to watch for how they get moves done. And yeah, they get very close and they kind of get alongside before the moves, and then yeah, they wait for the straights to get overtakes done if they can through the
Yeah.
slipstream, and it's just be smart. And I know it's frustrating, and you'll see it here, like bumper to bumper. It can be like, oh come on, speed up, speed up, speed up, and then
Move,
because you've
move,
got that
move.
slipstream behind them, you then start going even quicker, and you're like, come on, get out of the way.
Yeah,
But then you
no,
get frustrated.
I completely get where you're coming from. I completely get where you're coming from. But Baz just touched on that subject as well. Just a case of having better spatial awareness as well, really.
Yeah, and sorry, just look at Fendi Racing in.
Yeah, I'm just reading that one.
Josh is
So
8 years
Josh,
old.
he's just an 8-year-old and he's still using a game controller. But no, apparently he's just kidding on that one. I'll tell you what, if he was 8 years old and using a game controller and doing what he was doing out there, Jim, then just give it him now. I'm sorry, Michael Gray, you've had a phenomenal season, but that is truly another feat.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the most frustrating races I've ever personally had was going up against. I don't know if you've heard of him, but a little man called Max Verstappen, and he qualified P1 in an F3 race, and it turns out that he was using a an Xbox controller, whereas everyone else was on a rig and he was on a controller, and he managed to absolutely thrash everyone in the race. And it's
So
a you can't ever.
So you're
Yeah.
telling me, Jimmy, that everyone on there, and let's be honest, it could be a couple of hundred or it's a couple of thousands of pounds. There's a few people I know that have spent that kind of money on their rigs. But you're trying to tell me that somebody with a £55 Xbox controller outdid pretty much everybody else. That is
Yeah,
truly a feat.
it was possibly one of the most like irritating races of my life. Like I've battled with him on a rig before and been closer than I was with him on a controller. So look how close these guys are getting in the pit lane. Just to quickly change the subject. I mean, yeah, they
Well,
got very nice pit entry from all three of the elites there, just giving each other just enough room.
no, there you go. Michael Gray, Tim Reed, Joshua Higgy, Adam Wilson Weir, and Otto Karras, the leader of the pros, all deciding to come in. And that would mean now everybody has completed at least one pit stop, which they're going to have to be doing out there for this length of 60-minute race, Jim. And we'll see how everybody lines back up when they do all come back out for sure. But Otto Karras in front of Craig Corish for now. So the pro of Otto is outperforming brilliantly again tonight.
Yeah, I mean Otto, Michael, and Joseph have just been flying this season, and like I said, everyone's quick in here. There's no slow drivers that like we can really call out,
No,
or like I can't even think of anyone that's particularly even had a like a one-off particularly slow race. And yeah, just when you get those drivers that are just above and beyond, it is a
okay, sorry.
yeah, it is
I just saw the YouTube comment there, Jim, for Fendi Racing. He's saying he's a 70-year-old man now. Sorry about that one, Josh, mate. But no, do continue there, Jim. Do continue. Do apologise.
Oh no, yeah, I said everything I needed to say with that one, but yeah, I mean, very quick drivers, and yeah, they're. I think that is also part of the frustration why people get frustrated. If like we saw the qualifying times, people were laughing within thousandths of a second of each other.
Yeah, it was
And when
so
you're
close.
yeah, then when you're laughing the same as someone else, and you're like, I just can't get past. It's just yeah, it's
There you go.
frustrating. But
There you go. Well, we are what just about 36 minutes into this 60-minute race here in the Tanzo Racing Group. Remember, Jimmy, we are on race 4 rate, and Imola has given us some great racing so far tonight, and a few more incidents as well than I thought we would get, considering how good these guys are out there. But no, round 4 of 8 in the Tanzo Racing Group are all European seasons, sponsored by Spectra Racing, Clark St James Motorsport, and Murby Goes here on trackside. So another incident to look at, Jimmy. But let's have a look what happens to Joshua in the pits here.
oh, so pit exit, he left the exact same time, and the cars are kind of locked together. And yeah, you don't really see that too often, but oh, getting very close on exit, and I think yeah, can we go back and see that one corner again? I just wonder.
Yeah, I think that's the incident that just popped up between Tim Reed and Joshua Higgy there. So Tim Reed's the car in the back of Joshua Higgy, Jim.
Yeah, I just want to see as I go across this corner if we can see it a bit slower, just to see where the collision came from, because we got very close. I mean, it looks like he's got plenty of room around the first part, so that's fine.
A
I
lot of
think
room.
maybe catches that inside curb a little bit, unsettles him, and pushes him a little bit too far over, and then yeah, I think that's just I think that's on Tim there. I think he just got a little bit unsettled and then sort of hit the other
Well,
car. But I wouldn't
well,
be too fussed about that one. I think the incident itself kind of was punishment enough.
there you go, Jim. No further racing. No further action. It's a racing incident. That's all it is, my mate. So, like you said, nothing to worry about there for the pair of them, especially Tim Reed. But no, Tim Reed currently P5 out on track at the moment, about just under half second behind Adam Wilson Weir, who's just a half second behind Joshua Higgy. But then there is a little bit of a gap there between Craig Corish and Michael Gray. Michael Gray absolutely flying away, Jimmy. 11 and a half seconds just over that in front of Craig Corish, who's sitting in P2 at the moment. He's having another great race tonight, isn't he?
Yeah, and I just want to point out Adam Wilson Weir's like phenomenal pit stop to be able to kind of gain. Oh, just loses it a little bit on exit as Tim
Sorry, Jimmy.
Reed gets
Picked up a
black
black flag.
flagged for incident limit reached. That is going to be devastating to his race there.
Though that really, really is. And Tim Reed, what is happening, mate? What is happening? He's going to have to. There you go. He's gone back straight into the pits there, Jim. Serve that immediately. Try and get that done and out of the way as quick as he can. So, what caused that to put him over and give him that penalty there, Jim?
Well, on the corner before, Adam Wilson Weir loses the car just a little bit, and I think that causes him to go a bit slower than
Yeah,
Tim
you
was
can.
expecting, and you can just
Tim,
see
Tim came
wobbling.
around very, very fast there.
Yeah, I just don't think he was prepared for it, and sadly, that collision gave him 4 incident points. I guess if he's had a couple of bumps earlier on, getting a couple off tracks as well, it just adds up. And I'll be honest, I'm surprised there haven't been more black flags on a track like Imola, because every time I've raced it, the amount of people I've seen that end up getting black flags is just insane. Like it's a lovely track, but especially the section here that we're seeing with Joshua Higgy, it's so easy as you go up this bit here to get an off track, just going that like carrying too much speed and losing it over that curb.
No,
And
I've got to agree with you. I've got
um,
to
just
agree with you, Jim.
just quickly answer a question in YouTube chat there as well. Marshmallow, if Tim double taps, is that 2 incidents or 1? There's kind of a rough time limit um, between incidents. So if you like Concertina or something and just get hit a million times, you're not going to rack up a million points. It kind of just keeps it as one individual incident. So you don't need to worry
Yeah,
about that too much.
so the collision would have counted as 4 points towards his penalty point total of 20 there. To say, well, if it was 20, it could have been anything, but no, it would have been 4 points. But I do know what you're on about, Marshmallow. I saw the double tap myself, and no, it's happened in that very short amount of time, like Jim has said. So no, it's still only one set of incident points for that one, and that sadly did take him over his limit, Jim. He's has he put himself out of the race now? By the look of it, I think he has.
He might do. Still in the
Yeah.
pit. So
Well, no,
yeah,
I've got out next to his name on from what I can see on my timing boards. Here, Jimmy Tim Reed P20 out. It's saying at the moment, so we might have lost him. Really, might have called it a night for this one. Ryan Clark still sitting in the pits, about 5 laps behind now. I don't know if we're going to see Ryan Clark coming back out either. So we've lost a couple of cars by the look of it, Jimmy. But 40 minutes gone, that's not too bad for how intense it's been out there tonight. Definitely seen a lot more incidents and black flags than we're used to. I know you're saying you expect to see a lot more, but with the caliber of drivers we've got out here, and I know how safe and how good they are out there, I wasn't expecting so many.
yeah, it is a tough. I mean, I wasn't expecting there to be like. I think it's just purely because people push so hard on a track like this that it does end up. You just end up just getting those points and just rack up a little bit um, as the race goes on, because it's an hour long, and just getting one off track every like other lap or something can
Yeah,
end up. It just stacks up, doesn't it? So yeah,
yeah.
it can easily
Well,
happen. Just quickly in the YouTube chat for whoever is Murby goes with a go on, John. P2 currently is Omega. And then a little shout out for Curtis and Jordan as well. I mean, yeah, they're driving so well, that group of drivers. I mean, like, yeah, the pros especially are having a pretty good race this evening.
There you go, guys. Thank you, Murby Goes, for that support there for those three chaps out there, John Curtis and Jordan. And guys, like we said at the start of the stream, they are one of our sponsors. Click on his name right there, and you'll go straight to his channel and give him a check out. Murby Goes. But no, it's going to be a real interesting one, though, Jimmy. But top to bottom, everybody's in and out of the pit. Just under 20 minutes left to go. Michael Gray is still leading the way in this race. Just under 14 seconds on Craig Corish now. We said about 11 and a half seconds a few laps ago. Nearly 14 seconds now. That is absolutely phenomenal speed out there. Craig Corish currently in P2, followed by Joshua Heagy in P3 and Adam Wilson. We're in P4. We obviously lost Tim Reed, who was in P5 a moment ago, the other elite. So Otto Karis, P5 out on track, P1 for the pros, followed by John Harley and Curtis MacArthur, and Joseph Greathouse leading the way in the AMS in P8 out on track at the moment. Phil Giles then in P9, P4 for the pros, followed by Christopher Haynes and Aaron Sparks, P2 and P3 for the AMS. Jordan Butler there just coming out of the pits, down in P12 out on track, followed by James Vardigans, Sean Clark, Casper Roof, sorry, Matt Massey, Raymond Van Sutphen, James Moore, Sergio Cabral, and Rob Smith leading out the back of the pack of your 20 drivers still with us this evening. Obviously, having lost Tim Reed moments ago and Ryan Clark about 5-6 laps ago. At Murphy Goes, has everyone pitted? Yes, everybody has done at least one pit. A couple of these guys have done two so far. So, no, everybody has pitted. How are you feeling this race out, Jimmy, coming into the last 15, 16 minutes?
I mean, it's been eventful. I'll give
It
this race
really
that.
has.
It's
It
been
really
eventful.
has.
And yeah, I mean, there's been a few people that have got quite unlucky during this race, but as I think Daniel will put it very well, it's sometimes you just got to change the way you drive and just be a bit safer because, I mean, at the end of the day, losing losing a little bit of time during a lap is a lot better than having to serve a penalty as a.
No, it really, really is, Jimmy. It really, really is. But look, Jim, we got just over 15 minutes left to go. I'm going to give you about 5-10 minutes to think about it, but I would like your driver of the day. And guys at home watching, let us know who has been your driver of the day in the YouTube comments as well. Jimmy, are you okay with the AMs this week?
I am indeed. As we see, James Moore getting black flagged for incident limit reached. I saw someone disconnected there. Rob Smith, it looked like he kind of disconnected briefly, but looks like he's back on track and still driving around. But yeah, James Moore getting that black flag as well. There, you can see them starting to add up those innocent points now across a lot of the drivers as the race goes on. And yeah, it's always a shame to see it, but it is just such a tough track, especially for an hour-long race.
No, it really, really is. And like you said, I think you were a bit surprised not to see as many black flags. I think you're going to get them now, Jimmy, into the last 15 minutes of this race. And that's something that I'm thinking about as well. These drivers, surely some
Sorry,
of them
sorry,
are going to be
just
close.
to
Go
just
on.
to mention, Phil Giles getting a black flag now just as well, and yeah, like I'm saying, like incident point limit reached. It is such a tough track. I mean, to be fair, if more people get it, it's going to balance out the race because everyone will be black flag by the end of it. But yeah, it's unfortunate to see, and I mean, you hate to see it, but it does. There's a reason the limit's there, and if you're gaining that advantage from going wide and cutting the corner or getting incidents, then yeah, it's got
No,
to be done.
it's what happens. But that's what I was about to say, Jimmy. Like going into the last 15 minutes of this race, do you think some of these guys are going to be sitting quite close to that instant limit already? And we're going to be getting more black flags because you said you expected more, and you're getting them now.
Yeah, we certainly are, and I don't want to see them, but it's that kind of track that I think does just um, it does kind of just breed these black flags for some of these drivers, and yeah, as you see, Phil Giles is in the pit lane serving his, and yeah, everyone else has served theirs already.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I do expect there's probably a couple more drivers out there that are just sitting close to that limit and are kind of getting a bit worried now, seeing everyone else kind of get the black flags.
Yeah, we'll have to see if anybody else does crop up. There's surely got to be a fair few drivers out there. But no, Jimmy, just for what I was saying just before that, driver of the day in about 10 minutes, man, I would like you to take your AM driver of the day today. I'm going to be taking the pros, and as always, our man behind the scenes is going to be choosing our elite driver of the day today. Take about 5-10 minutes to think about that one, Jim, and I'll come back to you on that one. All right.
Absolutely. I'll have a little think, and I'll give my driver of the day when you call on it.
Yeah, it'll be about 5-10 minutes into that one, my mate, and we'll get onto that one. But no, we are under that 15-minute mark now, Jimmy. 13 minutes left to go. Michael Gray still leading the way for the elites. Otto Karis still leading the way for the pros, and Joseph Greathouse still leading the way for the AMs, and that has not changed all evening long.
Yeah, I mean those guys have just yeah, you can't fault some of those guys out there this evening. Just pixel perfect, inch perfect all the way through the race, and yeah, putting out phenomenal performances all the way around. And yeah, especially on a track as frustrating and demanding as this one. I talk about how much of a fun track it is to drive, but I think there's also another side to fun tracks is that they can be yeah they get a bit stressful because they're usually a bit more of a challenge to drive as well. And yeah,
No,
as
they
Mobigo
are.
says, Craig has gone to another level this season, and yeah, a lot of these guys have yeah, there's quite a few drivers that are just driving on another level. I gotta say.
There you go. Moby goes. Is that your shout for driver of the day? Let us know as well. And if not, let us know who it is going to be. But no, we've really seen some interesting growth with a lot of these drivers. I think Craig's a prime example of that one. Like, look, he's never been bad. I've never seen him like at a bad level, and he just gets better and better and better. But so do all of these drivers, Jim. And this is why I love seeing it each and every season when we get more drivers come on board, because I think you get used to driving with the same guys out there each and every single week. So to see that progression and to see how good they still can be with new drivers out there that they're having to get used to. We're still only 4 weeks into the season. It's only 4 hours of racing where some of these guys have been racing for seasons with each other. It's just great to see the progression from these guys.
Yeah, and just looking at Raymond van Zutphen's there, look how dramatic that profile picture is down at the bottom left. The old Flying Dutchman matches his livery, but
Oh, I do like that one though. I do like that.
yeah. Oh, who's that
Oh,
that's just gone off there?
is
Was that
that
Sergio
Sergio?
Cabral? Sergio Cabral also getting that instant limit reach, getting that black flagged. Oh
Well,
my God, that is just
Jimmy,
it's
these
getting crazy
guys,
now.
I tell you right, these guys, they're going to watch this stream back at some point of this race. They're going to hear what you said about expecting more black flags and see all this. You're going to get some horrible messages this week in Discord.
It's that commentator's curse, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
you've
happened a
cursed
couple of times
everybody.
this race already with yeah,
Sorry, Jimmy, just
calling
Aaron
to
Sparks.
people as
Sorry, Jim. Aaron Sparks and Christopher Haynes side by side down the straight there. Sorry to cut you off there.
oh no, absolutely take it away.
Christopher Haynes are just getting on the inside into that corner, still keeping the lead with Aaron Sparks just behind him, dropping a few temps off at the moment. So brilliant exit by Christopher Haynes as well. He's kept some serious speed as he goes down there. Sorry, just cut you off midway through there, Jimmy. Camera cut across, and they were side by side going down that straight. I was really interested to see what was going to happen. But Aaron Sparks not leaving Christopher Haynes alone at the minute. He's got himself back within a couple of attempts. He's going to be looking to make that move happen again, but Christopher Haynes still has the inside at the moment, and he's just not up close enough next to him is Aaron Sparks. But he's kept a lot of speed coming out of that corner. He's right on the back of him now. Is he going to be looking to make another move happen?
Yeah, he got a really good run out that corner, and he is getting bumper to bumper. But he has backed up a little bit for this section of corners, and I think he'll be looking to carry more speed on exit. I think he thinks he can carry more speed on exit with how he's positioning his car, not giving the run down to the chicane. There you go, closing that gap on exit, getting very, very close. And can he make the move done as he goes defensive ahead? But no, I think he's going to cut back across, and he'll take the chicane uh, as he is. But oh no, he didn't cut back across, so that's going to potentially slow him down. But no, Aaron Sparks then gets a poor exit out of that chicane. And
Very, very poor exit there. Drops a few temps further off of the back of Christopher Haynes there. Brilliant little bit of driving there by Christopher Haynes and by Aaron Sparks, but not a great exit there from Aaron. He's got a little bit of work left to do with just under 9 minutes of this race left to go, Jimmy.
yeah, it's not very long at all. And yeah, I mean, it has been such a crazy, crazy race. I mean, I think these drivers will be happy to see the back of it once the after the next 8 minutes or so is over and the race has concluded. But yeah, I think there's a few drivers in particular are probably going to be very happy that the race will have ended. But I think these are always the races that I enjoy the most, especially if I'm taking part in something like this, where it's just intense. And let's have a look what's happened to Joseph Greathouse here. So carries a lot of speed, uses all the curb on exit. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. Brakes just before the 50, nice. Gets rotated in. Little late on the apex, but that's fine. And then just the rear end, oh, those tyres must just be going at this point. Oh, the back end goes all the way around. And yeah, it's going to be hard. But he had a big gap to the next car. So hopefully he's able to rejoin safely. Yep, no other car going. Oh, very close. But yeah,
Close
I
but
think
well under control. Jimmy just avoids Joseph Greathouse there, but I do think he has enough of a lead not to impact his position out on track. We'll have another look at that one now. Was it his tyres going, do you think?
he gets the late apex, and I think he's rotating it, well, turning probably the wheel a little bit more. I think yeah, at this point, yeah, tires going. Ryan Clark though, getting a meatball flag there, getting a lot of damage. Let's see what's happened to Adam Wilson. We're going around,
Back
and
end just goes out on him a lot over on that curb, touches that green bit of the curb there, Jimmy, and just loses the back end.
yeah, I think we're at the point in the race now where these guys' tires are just melting with the. I mean, it's a lot of high speed corners here where you are braking and turning, and that does just add to the tire wear as the race goes on. So yeah, I'm not surprised that a few of them are starting to lose the back end. And Sean Clark now the next driver in the series to get to get black flagged. Um,
That'll be for
what-
instant limit reached, I would assume there, Jimmy, as well. Like you said, a few of these were dancing around that instant limit mark a few laps ago. There you go, confirmation for you there. Sean Clark, car number 68, instant limit reach. Another black flag. Jimmy, you have cursed absolutely everybody out there. Look, before you curse anybody else out there, look, let's go and have a look at our driver of the day, shall we? Jimmy, do you want to start us off with your driver of the day for me, if you please?
Yep, absolutely. So I gave my driver of the day to Joseph Greathouse. I know he had that little incident. Uh, that's not going to affect my decision. I mean, it's one of those things, and I think he just hasn't really. Besides that one little the back end stepping out there, I don't think he's really put a foot wrong this entire race. He's shown great performance, an insane pace, especially for an AM. So fair play to him, and I think he absolutely deserves the driver of the day.
Completely agree with you. As Murby goes in the comments as well, Jimmy. Yeah, I'd agree with that shout. Had Joseph not been a new joiner, he would be my tip. There you go. But no, no, it's a great shout, Jim, and he hasn't foot wrong all race. And to be fair, like I said, apart from that one qualifying race, I think it was in Monza a couple of weeks back, the top of the leaderboards the whole way through. So no, great shout with Joseph Greathouse. Look, pro driver of the day. Look, it's hard to ignore Jimmy, and it's for fairly similar reasons. Otto Karas is going to be look qualified P1 today, leading the race still, and has not been out of P1 for those pros. Gap on John Harley behind him as well. It is just a phenomenal race, and it's hard to ignore when been so dominant in such a class as Joseph Greathouse has for the AMs for your choice, and Otto Karas has for me in the pros. So yeah, Otto Karas is getting my pro driver of the day. Do you
Yeah,
want to let?
I,
Oh, go
I
on.
was just gonna say I couldn't agree more, and I think as our steward Connor behind the scenes is gonna agree. He's given his driver of the day to Michael Gray for the exact same reason as well.
Yeah,
It's such a demanding track. It's such a tricky track, and difficult conditions out there for them. Um,
look,
lots of incidents going on, lots of people spinning and crashing and getting black flags, and these guys have just kind of they've kept it on track, they've kept it cool, but they've kept it consistent and shown insane pace as well, which is hard to do as a combo. So yeah, you
no,
got to give it to them.
no, you really do. And look, we stay between ourselves, don't you, when we talk about this during the races. Between me and Eugene, we try not to just give it to the race leaders. But on a demanding track like this, when they've all three of them have been as dominant as they have been, it's so hard to look away from, isn't it? You have to give it to them.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a track like Monza, I'd find it difficult to give it to the person that was just leading the whole way. But on a track like this, yeah, the fact that they're not hitting those incident limits like a lot of the drivers are, and yeah, it's a tricky track. But I mean, there's obviously plenty of drivers as well that have done amazing, like Craig, Joshua Heagy, John
Yeah.
Harley, Curtis MacArthur, Christopher Haynes, Aaron Sparks. They've all been putting in like phenomenal performances as well, and a lot of drivers out here have been putting in great performances too. But
No, they really
I think,
have, James,
yeah,
and it seems like the YouTube comments are agreeing with you on that one. Daniel Paul, Christopher Haynes for him, he's saying he's going to be his driver of the day. As Greathouse should be a pro with the pace that he's got this season. John in the pro, as Otto should be an elite with his pace this season. Craig in the elites as well. That they all think like how good these guys are out there. We're seeing a few different names being thrown around tonight, and it is a hard decision to make, but you can't deny the fact. I think we've given it to the three that we have done for our reasons. I think I'm sticking by that one, but it's great to see those other names popping up. But Jim, we are a couple of minutes left of this race to go.
yeah, and yeah, well, just about 3 minutes or so left to go. Couple more laps left, and yeah, like we said before, I think a few of these drivers are going to be happy to see see the back of this one with the black flags, kind of driving just on edge, and yeah, especially being a bit nervous about anyone who's potentially nearing that limit as well. But it's all part of the fun of racing. At the end of the day, you take the risk with the reward, and yeah, it's a fun track. I absolutely love it, and when you do
It
get those good battles around here, I think they feel even more special.
No, I have to agree with you, James. I have to agree with you. It's a fun track. I'm talking a fun track. I'm not going to let anybody know just yet, but we've got a brilliant track next week. I'm sure you'll agree as well. So it's going to be some serious fun out there as well.
Oh, actually, need to double check. I'm just gonna check the notes because I want to see what's coming up next.
Oh,
Waffle for about 1 minute just while I quickly have a look.
I already know what's coming up next, though, Jimmy. But no, look, we
Oh
have a
yes, 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 yeah.
There you go. There you go. We'll let everybody know at the end of the race what is coming up for them all there. So as Michael Gray sets another fastest lap of the race, a
That's just like
1:41.099.
yeah, getting a fastest lap now. That is next level because I mean,
It's
we
just
saw how
ridiculous.
like several other drivers already struggling with their tires of you know, like Adam Wilson Weir and Joseph Greathouse and stuff. Those tires starting to drop off from just really pushing the car, and then Michael Gray pushing the car more than anyone else, and he's now setting the fastest
Yeah,
laps. That is insane.
it is absolutely crazy how much speed this guy has. He's what, nearly 13 and a half seconds up on Craig Corish at the moment and still setting that fastest lap. But Jimmy, we are into our last minute. So there, Christopher Haynes just tracking slightly out ride. Aaron Sparks is still chasing him down, so we'll have to keep an eye on this one once once we have seen Michael Gray go over the line because we are into that last minute, Jim. I think we are on our last lap at the moment.
Yeah, Christopher Haynes there also just getting a slow down penalty there, which he did end up serving and maintain position ahead of Phil Giles. But I think at this point, Phil Giles hasn't got anything to gain from getting any overtakes done as he goes past. I've lost my
Aaron Sparks.
I've lost,
Aaron
yeah,
Sparks.
Aaron Sparks there. Yeah, battling those two together. And sorry, I just saw that overtake going on screen. I started watching that one,
No,
and I
no,
just
it's all
lost my
right.
place a little bit. But
No, it's all right, Jim. It's all right. But we're going to stay on board now with our overall race winner and our P1 in the elites. There you go. A little flash of the lights from him. Our race winner again this evening, Michael Gray, P1 overall in the elites. It's been a brilliant race as Craig Corish rounds that last corner as well to finish P2. And Joshua Heagy just under half a second behind him, but a little bit too late to make it count and get any higher up. Finishes P3 on the leaderboard. Otto Karras comes round there P1 for the pros, and John Harley will be coming around just behind him as well. We saw Vardigans finishing next to Otto. There you go. There's John Harley cross the line P2. Adam Wilson, we're finishing it for the elites, and Curtis MacArthur is going to round it out for the podium spots for your pros as he rounds the last couple of corners and finishes his race off this evening, Jimmy.
yeah, and yeah, I mean that was I gotta say though, phenomenal race here. Yeah, as we see Curtis MacArthur crossing the line now. Joseph Greathouse, the leader in the AMs, going around those last couple corners to secure that position. If he keep it on track, which he definitely is doing, and then he gets the P1 in the AMs. Fair play to him. Well done to Michael Gray and Otto Karras for being the pro and the elite winners. Well done to Joseph Greathouse for winning in the AMs. And we see Christopher Haynes now just a bit further back with that little gaggle of cars between him, Aaron Sparks, and Phil Giles, all getting ready to be the last few drivers to cross the line, with James Moore just a bit further back and getting ready to cross the line as well. I mean, it's battle to the line here, and I think Christopher Haynes has got this in the bag. Aaron Sparks just being a little bit too far behind to get the overtake done on him. So well into those drivers as well. So that's P2 in the AMS, P3 in the AMS, and Phil Giles crossing the line for P4 in the pros. And that's all drivers across the line. Well done to everyone. Well done to everyone for surviving. And I think these interviews that we've got coming up are going to be very interesting to speak to some of these people. I feel like
Oh,
we're going to hear a lot
absolutely.
of stressed out of breath drivers from this one.
Well, let's hope we don't hear anything we shouldn't be hearing tonight, Jimmy. So we'll see what these guys have got to say in just a moment's time. But do you want to let everybody at home know how it did finish up this evening?
Yep, so P1 overall and P1 in the elites, we have Michael Gray, followed by Craig Corish and Joshua Higgy. Then we have P1 in the AMS with Otto Karas, but P4 on track, followed by John Harley, Adam Wilson-Weir, Curtis MacArthur. Then we have P1 in the AMS with Joseph Greathouse, followed by Christopher Haynes, Aaron Sparks, Phil Giles, James Vardigans, Casper Roost, Massey, Sean Clark, Rob Smith, Raymond Van Zutphen, James Moore, Sergio Cabral, Jordan Butler, Tim Reed, and Ryan Clark rounds out your 22 drivers on track this evening.
There you go, Jimmy. What an hour of racing that really, really was. I did say at the start, I was hoping we are going to be in for an exciting one this evening. We definitely did get that. Lots of points, instant points there, and lots of black flags as you predicted towards the end of that one. I don't know if it was your curse or it was just going to happen anyway, but there you
I
go.
think it's the Imola curse, not the commentator curse. I'm gonna blame the track, not me on that one. But yeah, it's a
There you go. There you go. Well, I tell you what, Jimmy, we started getting a few of the guys jumping into the interview room. Shall we start speaking to a couple of them right now?
absolutely. And who have we got waiting? So
So I'll
we
tell
can
you what,
start
we'll
with
get.
Joseph Greathouse. Get our
Yeah,
AM P1 in,
let's
and
bring
let's
him in here. So Joseph Greathouse, P1 again this evening in tonight's race and in qualifying. Joseph, good evening. Thank you for joining us. How did you find that one, mate?
Well, took quite a bit of practice because Imola is really hard on trying not to get off tracks there, and also luck because the race start was really chaotic.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. There was a lot going on at the start of that one, mate. And there was a lot going on towards the end of it as well. Did you see all the black flags popping up for everybody out there and all the incidents going out on track this evening?
Yeah, I saw those. I got worried for a second I was going to get one.
Well, you done well to keep yourself out of it. We only saw you come round slightly towards the end. You lost the back end just once. Did the tyres go or something on that one?
Yeah, the tires were getting a little worn out at the end of it.
Ah, there you go. Well, you held on to it quite well at the end there, mate. And again, it's another win for you, though, this week. So congratulations again, my mate. Look, we don't like to keep you guys for too long. So before we let you go, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
Uh, I want to say thanks to my friends and family that support me, and thank you guys for hosting and broadcasting this race.
No, you are more than welcome, mate. More than welcome. Look, we shall see you next week. We've got a great one lined up for you next week. So we'll see you then, all right?
Yep, see ya.
See you later, mate. Have a good one. There you go, Jimmy. There you go. So shall we stick with the AM? Shall we bring in Christopher Haynes next, shall we? Our P2.
yeah, let's give him a chat and see how he got on.
There you go. P2 tonight, qualified in P4, finished P2 overall. Christopher Haynes, good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Well, if he's not going to say anything, I'm going to say something.
I
Happy
was gonna
birthday as well, Christopher Haynes, if you can hear us as well.
I was gonna wait for him to say something. Chris, can you hear us, mate? Right. Not sure we can hear him just at the moment. Look, we'll try and bring Chris back in here with us very, very shortly there. But shall we get our P3 for the AMS in, Jimmy? Shall we speak to Mr. Aaron Sparks?
Yep, let's see how he got on during the race.
There you go, Aaron. Good evening. Congratulations, mate. P3 overall. How did you find that one this evening?
Well, it was a tough one, especially with getting that penalty got turned in on that one corner. So even if I got past Chris Haynes, I knew I'd still have the 5-second penalty, and yeah, it was tough.
There you go, mate. Well, there was lots of penalties going on out there tonight, and lots of black flags as well. It just seemed like a really kind of different race compared to how it usually is. Did you find it any different at all, or was it just another one of those get your head down and get going?
It was a good race. I had good pace. Just had a few incidents that I was trying not to get caught up on early on the race, and it's tough dodging some spun cars.
There you go, mate. There was a lot of spun cars around and about tonight. So, no, you've done really, really well, mate. P3 overall, well done on that one. Look, we won't like to keep you for too long. So, anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
I'll give a shout out to Pugna, who's watching me apparently. So, yeah.
There you go. Well, good evening, sir. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. But Aaron, we'll catch up with you on the next one. All right, my mate.
All right. Take care.
Have a good one, my mate. See you later. There you go, Jimmy. There you go. So that is our Shall we speak to a couple of our pro drivers, and shall we start with our P1 overall and my driver of the day, Otto Karras?
Yep, let's bring him in and have a little chat.
Otto,
Hello,
good
hello.
evening. P1 qualifying, P1 in the race, a truly dominant performance from you, and the driver of the day performance from you there as well. How did you find that one?
Yeah, thank you. It was really nice again. Just the pace was good. The consistency was really good. I was able to stay focused throughout the race. It's nice. I was behind
No,
Adam. He was just a bit faster than me, but that just gives you that little bit of a push to stay with him. So
there
it
you
was
go.
really nice.
Well, you didn't really drop off him at all, mate. You were well and truly having a fight with the elites rather than the rest of the pros out there. So it was a really, really strong performance from you. A little bit of a different vibe for this race this week. There was lots of points getting handed out. There was lots of black flags. Did you find it any more difficult this week, or because you look like you just got your head down and got your thing done, mate? To be fair,
Yeah, the start was a bit chaotic. We went like almost 3 wide into the first turn. But
yeah.
then afterwards, I saw a lot of penalties coming through, but I didn't really see anything. All the lap cars behaved really nicely, so I didn't really have any issues with any other cars.
No, there you go. And a truly dominant performance again from you this evening, mate. And hopefully, you never know, we might be speaking to you again in this position next week as well if you keep performing like that. But before that one and before we let you go this evening, is there anyone you want to say thank you to or give a shout out to?
Yeah, just thank you to all the other drivers. Everyone in here is just really nice community we got here.
No, there you go, mate. There you go. And thank you for being a part of it, Otto. And look, we shall see you next week, all right?
Yeah, all right, thank you.
See you later, mate. See you later. Jimmy, we got time for one more. He finished P3 in the pros this evening. We're going to speak to Curtis MacArthur before we sign off for the night.
Yeah, let's bring him down a little chat.
There you go. Curtis, good evening.
Hello there.
P3 tonight. How did you find that one, my mate?
It was difficult. I really don't get along with this track. I think my first lap around it was Wednesday, and I couldn't get into I couldn't break through the 145. So it was a lot of practice.
I know it seemed like a pretty interesting race out there this week. There was lots of penalty points being dished out, lots of black flags, lots of people going around tonight. Did you find it any more difficult?
I kind of fell into. I had the car in front of me. It was 20 seconds. I think that was John. The car behind me was 20 seconds. So I just fell into like a hole where I had no one around me. So I wasn't pushing too hard. I think I came out of 8 incident points, so it wasn't too bad for me.
Oh, there you go, my mate. There you go. Look, before we let you go, though, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
I will give a shout out to Dubby Energy Drinks, Simworks, and then a couple of my boys, Tanjiro Commodore, Aaron Yeager, and All Might. Big up, All Might.
There you go, mate. Big up to every single one of them, indeed. Congratulations again on this evening's race, guys. P3. We shall catch you next week, mate. You have a good one.
Thank you very much, guys.
See you later, mate. See you later. Jimmy, I was mistaken. Sorry, we do have another one. We do have another one. I didn't see his name there at first. We're going to speak to Craig Corish, though. He finished P2 in the elites tonight and P2 overall. Craig, first of all, congratulations on that P2. Good
Thank you.
evening. How did you find it?
Very tough track.
Yeah.
And I found it even more difficult at the end when Joshua was really making me sweat.
No, it was a real interesting one out there tonight. There was lots of points being handed out. There was lots of black flags. We saw lots of cars going around. There was lots of side by sides. It was a really interesting race this week.
Yeah. It's the
Great,
first week of off tracks as well, which is very unfortunate.
There you go. Well, these things happen, mate. These things happen. But no, it really made some great viewing out there this evening. I'm sure the guys at home will agree with me on that one. But no, it looked like a great one out there. But no, you had a great race, mate. You always give
thank
us
you.
something good to watch out there, and you gave it again this week.
I
So
do
look,
try.
there you go. So look, before we let you go, do you want to give a shout out or say thank you to anyone?
As usual, mate, just Sean Clark and yourself for broadcasting.
Ah, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Look, we shall catch you on the next one, all right?
Yeah, perfect. See you next week.
There you go. See you later, mate.
Bye.
There you go, Jimmy. I have been told we have actually got one more. He's just joined us a little bit later than usual, but we're going to speak to our overall race winner this evening, our P1 overall, our P1 in the elites. Let's speak to Mr. Michael White real quickly. Michael, good evening, sir. P1 again. It's getting pretty regular, this one for you. How did you find it this evening?
Yeah, pretty good. Really good to be fair. I nearly died about 3/4 of the way through, fully sideways, but I managed to save it. I just started taking my time after that.
I was going to say you couldn't tell, and you say you're taking your time, mate. You were setting fastest laps with 58 minutes gone on the clock of a 60-minute race, so you didn't really slow it down that much, mate. Look, you definitely put something on your Weetabix each and every week when you're out there. You are truly dominant driver, mate. Nearly 12 and a half seconds there up on P2 on Craig Chorus this evening. So congratulations on that one, mate. Look, I'm not going to keep you for too long at all. So before I let you go, anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
Yeah, yourselves, the broadcast team, Sean and Connor for doing the sorting the league out, and yeah, everyone who does it every Monday.
Oh, there you go, Michael. There you go. Look, we shall catch you on the next one, I'm sure. And you never know, we might be speaking to you again at this point next week as well, mate. But we shall catch you on the next one, all right?
Yeah, nice one. Cheers.
See you later, mate. There you go, Jimmy. And that is definitely everybody that we're going to be speaking to tonight. I am sure of that one now. But no, I'm sure you'd agree, Jimmy. That was a very, very, very good race tonight. Very interesting watch and a lot to speak about coming away from the end of that one.
Yeah, I mean that was crazy. That was such a fun race to watch, and yeah, a bit stressful at times.
No, it is indeed, Jimmy. It is indeed. But Jim, as much as I don't like to say this, sadly, that is gonna have to be the checkered flag from us here at Imola this evening, and it's going to be the checkered flag from us here at Trackside. I just want to say, Jimmy, thanks for sitting next to me each and every single week as much as you do, and thank you to all the guys at home. Anything you'd like to add to that, Jim?
Yeah, thank you, Gaz, as well. I love commenting on these races, especially with you and Connor behind the scenes as well. Yeah, thank you to everyone. I mean, like, what a fantastic race to tie up the Monday evening, and yeah, already looking forward to the next one. Just excited at this point. And again, I'd like to thank the sponsors, Spectra Racing, Clark St James Motorsport, and Merbigos for sponsoring this season. And thank you to the Tanzo Racing Group for hosting us again this evening. Goodbye to Italy for now, as we're headed over to Austria for the next race of the season around the Red Bull Ring. So another iconic track. And yeah, thank you again to everyone at home for watching and supporting your favorite drivers out there tonight. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss another race. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you all in the next one.